Welcome to the Website Success Show, the podcast dedicated to helping women in business get more traffic and sales through their website with less reliance on social media and paid ads. I'm Jules White, the founder of the Website Success Hub, and I love helping local and online businesses make more money through their existing website. If you have a business you love, but you don't like the way your website performs, then this is the show for you. Hi, welcome back to the Website Success Show. It's Jules here, and over the last few episodes of the show, we've been talking about the different ways to grow your business without relying on social media. We've covered relationships, visibility through guest talks, collaborations, owning your own podcast and your own website content. And today we're talking about email, another marketing channel where you truly own the relationships and no algorithm can switch it off. So today I'm very excited to welcome a special guest to have a chat about how you can use your email list to grow your business. And I've learned so much from this lovely person. So welcoming the wonderful Liz Wilcox. Hi, Liz. It's great to have you here.
Hey friends, I'm excited to be here. What a sweet intro. I can't wait to get into it.
I was trying to remember how we met, and I knew it was through a bundle or collaboration or something, but I couldn't quite remember. And then this morning I remembered it was through Elizabeth Goddard and through the bundle that she did for One to Many back in 2023. So I have been a member of your membership. I'm a member of Liz's email marketing membership, and I've been in your world since 2023. And yeah, I've just found it so helpful. So I'd love you to introduce yourself, Liz, and let us know a little bit more about you and what you do.
Yeah, what's up? You know that feeling you get when you listen to an amazing podcast like Jules's and there's some lady on and she keeps talking about email, email, email. You got to email. That's how you make the real bucks. And you get all fired up. And so you log into your ConvertKit or your ActiveCampaign or Flowdesk, and then you promptly feel kind of dumb, kind of stupid because you have no idea what to say. Well, what's up? I'm Liz Wilcox, and I help eliminate that problem. I teach people how to write emails that actually connect with their audience, that are easy to write, dare I say, and make sales. And I'm really excited to talk today.
So how did you, Liz, end up as like the person? How did you get into email marketing? How did you end up when everyone else is saying, go after social media and you got to be on socials, how did you end up down the email list?
Yeah,
Rabbit
so
hole.
right. So I actually started as an RV travel blogger and I just knew that I wanted to make money. Right. Like, of course, I was interested in RVs, but it wasn't something like, oh my gosh, get in an RV or a caravan and, hit the open road. Right. I knew that was my dream and I wanted to share that dream. And people were telling me, hey, you can make money on the internet by blogging. So I started the blog, but before I even launched it, as I was writing the blog post, learning about WordPress, etc., everyone was saying email, 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 right? I wish I would have taken my email seriously. Hey, you write the blog post to get people on your email list, da da da. All roads led back to email. So Mama didn't raise no fool. The day I officially launched the blog, aka told my friends on Facebook, hey, I have a blog now, was the day that I said, hey, join my email list. Because I knew those things were synonymous. I knew that, again, all roads led to email because that's what everyone was saying. Even social media, doing things on social was to get people on an email list, right? And so I tend to be a two-step chick. If it takes three steps, I'm out. And so I was always looking for shortcuts to just get people on my email list. And just grew and grew from there. And eventually, over a few years, I launched a digital course. People were telling me, hey, the real way to make money with an email list is to have your own thing, right? And so I launched a couple little things. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go for the big kahuna. I'm going to launch a course. And I had a wait list of 141 people. Not so bad. And I converted 141 people. So
Wow.
I don't know if you guys are good at math. I know you're probably driving or doing the dishes. That's 100% conversion rate, right? So
Amazing.
that's when people started asking me, what, how you did with who, right? And so that's when I realized, oh, wow, I'm actually really good at email marketing. I'm all right in the RV space, but I think I could go a lot further teaching people what I know. And
So
so
this was an email about an online course about RV
travel, yes, it was about
travel.
RV maintenance,
Okay.
how to fix your RV. It was called Fix It Yourself.
Okay. So not an online offer, not, well, obviously yours was an online offer, but you weren't teaching online offers there or anything. This was a real world business that you were doing, and not that email isn't
Correct.
a real world business, but
Yes. Yes, y'all.
yeah.
Very business to consumer, B2C. Everybody thinks B2B is like where it's at. Y'all, B2C is way easier. Like there,
Yeah.
it's called business to consumer. Consumer. We
That's probably
consume,
something
we
I should
buy.
let you know, that a lot of my podcast listeners are location-based businesses, B2C businesses. And so yeah, that's I would imagine that's really good for them to hear that actually this applies to them as well in their
Oh,
businesses.
absolutely, y'all. Absolutely. And that's why I wanted to go into the B2B quote unquote space because I was like, I came from the B2C space. I came from having to build an email list of people not trying to make money, but trying to learn a thing or, experience a thing, become a part of a community. And y'all, my customers didn't want to pay for electricity. Okay, they're RV travel, right? There's something called boondocking. That's where you literally park in the middle of the desert basically and you just live off the land. You maybe you got some solar panels or you've got, some fuel for a few days, but these people don't want to pay for basic necessities. They don't want to pay for water. They don't want to pay for a mortgage. They sell their house and they buy an RV. They want to be debt free. They want to be, there are articles how to live on $500 a month. Okay, so these people didn't even know what an online course was. My biggest objection was, Liz, I don't know what you're selling. Liz, I don't have internet. How am I supposed to take this course? Okay. Like I only have internet when I'm at a rest stop. Okay. And so it is possible for you to sell to real people, I promise.
So how did you know? How did you know that people were asking those questions, or were people just telling you? Were they
Yeah, people were just telling me, "Hey, Liz, what's an online course? What's an ebook?" Yeah, they
okay?
were replying to me. I had built, that's why I was able to have such high conversion rates. And that's why I love email over something like social, is because you can build those relationships. You can get replies, right? You can turn one to many into one-on-one, right? One email to many people, but you hit reply, I'm replying back to you. I'm sure that's how Jules and I got to know each other. I probably, got her to reply to something. We started chatting. She was like, "Oh, this is a real person." And, now we're sitting here together.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest things that I have learned from you, from being part of the membership, and just hearing how you are, like on the Q&A calls, and you just give us permission to do it messy and to be ourselves, and to, especially now we're moving so much more into AI. I feel like I can spot the AI written emails, and I know when an email comes from you, it feels like it is just a personal email from you. So I love that, and I think that's definitely
Thank you.
something that, yeah, and especially if we are then B2C type businesses, that's people don't want to feel like they're just getting sold to an email, I think, really.
Yeah, we want to connect, right? And I learned that in the B2C industry. People were opting into me to hear more about my travels, to, how does this chick do it? Maybe I can learn something from her too, right? People want to connect. I got into a little debate with someone who's pretty big in the online space, and they were saying, I think community is dead. Like we needed that during the pandemic, but now people just want to be told what to do. And I was like, well, I think it's both, right? I think, the fact that, oh, you want people to tell you what to do. Okay, well, you need keyword people, right? That's community, right? And so, I think there's this real, especially Jules mentioned AI, in this age of AI, there's this real desire, this real craving, this real need for community, for that relationship building,
Yeah.
right? And replies are a great way to do that in the inbox. You can literally just type out, "Hey, I'm a real person. I read every reply,"
Mm. Mm.
right?
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of when you are smaller, if you're thinking, oh, well, I don't have a lot of people on my list, that's great. That's great because you can reply to everyone. You can create those real relationships and those early adopters, as I call them. They are actually interested. They weren't signing up because everyone else was doing it, right? They signed up because they were genuinely interested, and they will be genuinely excited to know that they can talk to you directly.
That's I think definitely the small list part of it I think is often where people get a little bit hung up, or they think, oh, my list is too small to even start emailing. Have you got any thought? Well, I know you've got thoughts on this, but what would be your advice about that if somebody's thinking, well, I've only got 3 people on my list?
Okay, well, those three people don't know how many people are on your list, right? You want to write an email. It's like, okay, on social media, right? When you go live and there's always that lady that's like, okay, well, I'm just going to wait for a few more people to join. It's like, well, why? I'm right here. Or they say, hey guys, who are you talking to? It's just me. I'm the only person listening. Right? I'm not sitting here watching your live stream with my friends. I'm just on my couch alone. It's the same with email. You're writing to one person, right?
Yeah.
So think of that ideal customer, that ideal reader, listener, whatever, and write to that one person. When I write emails, and I write to different people, but I only write to one person. I'm like, who is that person that needs this message today? I'm going to write to them. Or what can I say? John is on my list and he's been on my list for 2 years and he's never replied, but I know he needs help with X. What
Mhm.
can I say about X today to get him to reply? Right. And then I write an email tomorrow. Jules is on my list. We've been talking a ton. I know, yesterday on our Q&A, she mentioned this. I'm going to talk to Jules today and remind her of what we talked about yesterday, right? But there's a lot of Jules out there. There's a lot of Johns on the list, right? And so just writing to that one person, even when you only have 3 people on your list, that's how you're going to start to build that momentum.
Just a quick break here. If you're ready to get more from your website without feeling overwhelmed, come and join us in the Website Growth Club. It's my monthly membership where we focus on one simple, actionable SEO or website strategy each month, with step-by-step lessons, live Q&As, and real support to keep you moving forward. You don't need to do it alone, and you can find out more and join us at thewebsitesuccesshub.com/grow. Yeah, definitely. So why do you think that the list is so much more important than social media, than just collecting a big following on social media? Is there one sort of thing that you would say, well, it's because of
Yeah.
this?
Well, here, y'all, raise your hand if you were alive in like 2023, 2024, and you remember when a billionaire bought a social media platform, changed its name, started going all crazy over there, lost half of its users, lost all of its sponsorship dollars, and almost imploded within 12 months. Raise your hand, right? This is why we need email. We do not own social media. And clearly, the billionaires out there have shown us that one decision can change everything.
Mhm.
One guy, one person owns like 4 social media platforms. Shout out Zuck and the gang, right? If he decides tomorrow to shut Threads down, it's not making enough money, or Facebook is dying, I'm going to cut that off and sell it. What are you going to do if you had built your entire platform? Like a lot of journalists and authors and editors had built their entire platform on what was known as Twitter. And suddenly their audience was gone and they're wondering, where are my people at? Right? You could lose your business. Or, we've all heard of shadow bans, right? You say the wrong thing, or someone comments. I met a guy that had a very large YouTube following. We're talking like 500,000 subscribers or something, was making millions of dollars with sponsorships for his videos. And he was doing a live stream, and someone commented something highly inappropriate on the live stream. They shut his channel down. That was a multi 7-figure business gone overnight. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm suddenly sick to my stomach.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of recovering to do from that, isn't
Right.
there?
Luckily, he had an email list. And luckily for him, he was so big on YouTube, he knew somebody on YouTube. But you and I, we don't know nobody on YouTube.
No.
I don't know nobody. Okay. And so
If you
this
can
is
even
why,
get to talk to somebody, I
period.
I
Right.
listened to the podcast in business school. Adam on there, he had built up a Threads community. That was the only platform he was using apart from his podcast, and he had to verify he was human to a bot, and he couldn't verify that he was human to a bot, so he lost his Threads account, and that was the only. I mean, he again had built up his email list. Luckily, he then emailed his subscribers, and they all contacted Threads, and he managed to get his account back. But there was a few days where he was like, "I'm not even sure this is going to happen." So I think, and that was from a bot that decided he wasn't a human. He's like, "Well, what can I do to
Right.
show you I'm a human? I can send you a
Right.
stool
How can I
sample."
prove to a bot? Yeah, yeah. So the point of that is we need our email list, right?
Yeah.
Because our email list is our direct connection, right? We get those subscribers. They consent. Yes, here is my email address, right? So whether you use Kit today and Flowdesk tomorrow, you can take those addresses, those people with you. You cannot do that with social media. That is why it's so important as a creator, as a service provider, as an online business owner, or even as a local business to have those email addresses.
And I think especially for local businesses, maybe they don't realize that actually that becomes then a valuable asset for your business. If you were thinking about selling your business and you've got a email list of 15,000 what's the word I'm looking for, engaged subscribers,
Hmm.
then that's a way, that must increase the value of your business then as well.
Yeah, so let's talk about for a local business, there was a study, and I'm not sure the exact amount, but it's like over 70% of people say that email swayed their decision about a purchase, right? And so even if you have like a restaurant or, a local shop, I know when I get those local emails, I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't been there in a while. Let me
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Even if there's not a discount inside, even if it's just like a, hey, don't forget we've got happy hour on Friday, or, we these are our specials of the week, or my favorite shop is like a local art gallery and like boutique shop. And they're always sending emails, hey, this is the new artist, this is our artist of the week. This customer bought this piece of jewelry, and I'm like, oh, I wanted that. What am I missing out on? Right. And
Yeah.
I'm going into the shop a lot more since they started emailing. Like now they know me by name. I have a wish list there. If, family, friends, want to go in and buy me something, like that's incredible marketing, right? And so local business really, really needs that email list. Also, especially if you are trying to do social media, a lot of local business do social media. You're competing with everyone else. If I watch, let's say you're a nail salon, I watch your uh stuff, I follow you. Now the algorithm is feeding me every other nail salon in a 50-mile radius because the algorithm knows that I'm interested in that, right? But email is not like that, right? I've signed up to your list. I get your emails. Google is not sending me emails about other nail salons. Hey, if you like this email list, you might like this, right? It's a totally different experience. It's much more intimate, for lack of a better word. And that's what you want. You want to build that brand loyalty, right? And you can do that really, really easily with email marketing as a local business.
Yeah, I feel that this feeds so much into the whole message of social media being optional. And I very much focus on creating content that you own first. And it's a fundamental part of my business to do that. And I think like the website part of it, definitely in terms of actually attracting people when they're looking for what you do, but the email list and keeping those people there, I think we can often end up thinking about the people who don't know about us and forget about the people who are already interested in what we do or who have already been customers. And actually those are the people that are on our email list. And yeah, if we can keep them coming back, really.
Yeah,
One of the,
amen.
go on.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have a thought for like when you're building your website as well. Jules is so great at helping you with the SEO of it and, making sure it's nice and fit, so to speak. But what I always say is, build your list for leads because there are some people that are going there that are just looking. We are not eBay, we are not Amazon. Nobody's going to our site to shop, right? They're going to window shop. But if we can gather leads from our website, that's really, really great. So, for example, if you go to lizwilcox.com, you'll see on the homepage alone, I ask you 5 times to join my list. I'm very 90s theme. So at the bottom, it says, oops, you did it again. You got to the end and you're still not on my list. Of course, that's very meta. That's not for everybody. But, it's just a little bit of brand humor
Yes.
and people love it, right? And so
Yeah.
making sure it's very easy for you to get signups on your site is important. For
Yeah.
example, I do a lot of podcasting, right? And so at the end, when people say, Liz, where can people find you? I say, oh, go directly to lizwilcox.com, hit the hot pink button in the top right hand corner. That's website design, y'all. That is intentional. I'm geeking out with Jules, right? Like that was intentional so that when I get in front of a customer, even locally, like for example, I just went to an event. People kept saying, how can I find you, Liz? And I had a QR code that went directly to my website. It was the wallpaper of my phone, you guys, right? And it was, go there and just hit the hot pink button. That'll get you signed up to the list,
Yeah.
right? So when you work with Jules, making sure you have that super easy, you know, if a customer comes in, they don't buy anything, hey, hey, scan this QR code. We've got some sales coming up, or I know we've got some new inventory. If you join, you go there, just click that yellow button, that'll get you signed up so I can notify you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, definitely.
Super simple.
Definitely, yeah. And I think we can often end up feeling like we're bothering people with when we email them. So that's definitely something I hear quite a lot if I talk to people about emails of like, oh yeah, but I don't want to keep sending people emails. I don't want to annoy them.
Okay,
But
let's talk about
some
that,
thoughts about that.
Jules. Let's talk about that. Y'all, you opted in to hear from someone, right? We've all been on the other side where it's like, oh my gosh, Jules, I'm really interested. I need to know more about my SEO. My website is a mess. I'm going to opt into her list. Is Jules bothering you? No, you opted in, you consented. You said, "Hey, I want to learn more." That's your subscriber. What is annoying? When I click on something, I watch something on social media, and then the algorithm thinks that's my entire personality, and it's the only thing I'm seeing over and over. It's like, wait, I just saw this guy. Why did I just see 10 of his videos in a row? That's annoying. That's non-consensual. The algorithm is making those choices. Mark Zuckerberg said so,
Yeah,
right? But with email, we opt in, right? The only reason it might feel annoying is because maybe we have like some corporate, I don't know, trauma, right? Where we always had that boss that was sending emails that, this could have been one email, it's 10 of them, right? Or the guy that accidentally replies all when it's like, oh, that's a conversation between you and Liz. Why am I in this? Right. So that's why email can feel annoying, but good email feels great to the person, right? Oh, yeah, I did go to that shop. Oh, they have that inventory now. I'm so glad I signed up. I'm going to go in there and get it, right? You have a business, which means you have a responsibility not only to the business, but to your customers and to your potential customers to let them know. One time I was walking out of an elevator and somebody was on the phone, clearly with their girlfriend or something. Well, how was I supposed to know? You never told me. And ain't that the truth, baby, about our sales, right? How is the customer supposed to know if you never tell them? They've given you their interest. That's why they opted into your email list. It's your job, it's your responsibility. I would say it's even your duty to make sure they know what is going on so that they can, take advantage when the time is right for them.
yeah. And if you believe in what you're selling and you know that you offer a good service, then why not? Why not? Why keep it hidden?
Amen. I love that. Why not?
So if people aren't using social media to grow an email list, have you got any other suggestions of how you can actually fill the list and get people subscribed?
Yeah, so when you're local, that QR code on your phone or passing it out is a great one. Also networking. y'all, it's not okay. I just learned this at Craft and Commerce Kits event, which is an email service provider. This was there was this recurring theme of like it's not who you know, it's who knows you. But even further, it's not who knows you, it's who knows what you need, right? So using networking to find out how you can serve others in your network and how that network can serve you, right? So if Jules knows I'm trying to grow my email list, oh, maybe we can do a freebie swap. I share your freebie to my email list, you share my freebie. So a freebie is, hey, sign up for this list, you're going to get this free thing. It's often called a lead magnet or an opt-in, right? So making sure people in your network know, hey, I'm trying to grow my email list. And a freebie swap is a great way to do it. Also, guesting, right? So going into and doing collabs with other people. This is a type of guesting, right? I'm guesting on Jules's podcast, right? If you're local, how can you do deals with other people, right? Like if my boutique does a lot of deals with local artists that might have their own galleries, but they're being featured in our gallery now, right? They're guesting with each other. I thought of how you guys know the rapper Megan the Stallion. She did a collab with Popeye's Chicken. You would think what? But she had a song about like a hot girl summer. So they were like, "Oh, we have this really hot chicken that's for sale. All the hot girls want the hot chicken or whatever, right? So, what are some creative ways that you can collab with other businesses in your industry or on your block, if you're local, things like that? How can you do collaborations? Something my downtown area does are, like we have a pirate festival. So there's a pirate walk and you have to go to all the businesses and they work together to share. And they grow their email lists with, like, oh, hey, you stopped by, if you like the store, put your name here. It can be as simple as writing down your name.
Mm.
Right. I saw that at a local library. Join our list. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a matter of even asking, hey, do you want to join our email list?
Yeah.
That can really, really help as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, in terms of size of list, is it just about growing the size of your list? I know my list grew and then it's definitely shrunk down a little bit again because one of the things I've learned from you is that we need to kind of keep like if people aren't opening our emails or not clicking on stuff, then we need to maybe remove them from our list. But what are your thoughts on in terms of is it just about the size of the list?
It's definitely not. It's all about the quality of the list, right? So let's use that local example again. If I've got people coming into my shop from the Pirate Walk, I can pretty much tell who is actually looking around the shop and who isn't. If they're just coming for the candy, I'm not going to pitch my email list, right? But if they come in, oh, I love that piece, or oh, that jacket is so beautiful. Oh, you should join the list. We've got inventory that comes every 60 days. I'm sorry we don't have that in your size. Put your email list down or your email down and I can email you when I get a new shipment, right? And so it's the same on your list. We don't want people that aren't coming in the shop and actually looking, right? We want people that are going to open the emails that aren't going to be annoyed. Another way to grow your list is through giveaways, right? But we don't want to do a giveaway to an iPad. Everybody wants an iPad, right? We want to do a very specific giveaway. So if Jules was doing a giveaway, something very specific would be maybe I'm going to give away a 60-minute website audit where I go through da 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 da. This makes sure people already have a website,
Yeah.
right? Nobody would sign up for that if they don't have their website yet, right? And, Jules can't help them if there's nothing to go off of,
Yeah.
right? They've
Yeah.
got to they got to have some first step done, right? And so that would be a good giveaway for her. So think about um, you know, what kind of giveaway you could do that would really, really increase the quality of your leads. Don't just give away anything, give away something super specific. So thinking about, is it the size of the list? Absolutely not. It really is that quality and working backwards from there. Like these are the people I want on my list. How am I going to go find them? Where are those people hanging out, whether in my local community or online?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's one of the things that I've realized from working with clients over the years on websites is that if you're not clear on who you're actually trying to show up for or who you're trying to help, then that makes everything else more difficult. And I think that is the same with the email list as well, really, isn't it? So
Absolutely, it is.
definitely. So how do you actually sell to your list without feeling salesy? I think that's probably like one of the big questions that people like. If you feel like you're like, what do you talk to people about in your emails?
Yeah, so well, first I would ask you to define salesy, right? What is wrong with selling? People love to buy, y'all. People love to buy. I mean, I'm here in the United States. We are in debt. Okay, we are in debt because we love to buy so much. And so I want to invite you to just think about it differently. People love to buy. They consented to hear from you, consented to hear more about your offers. And so, you get this is the permission slip you didn't know you needed to sell. Okay. So, right off the bat, when they join the email list, that's when they're most excited, right? They are actively searching for a solution or came into your store or, you know, checked out your website and wanted to hear more, right? So you can start selling right then. It's not salesy. They're actively searching for a solution. They were typing into Google, where is my da da da? What can I do for blah blah blah, right? They're actively searching for a solution. So the best way I like to start selling is just right off the bat. I use something called a tripwire, which is a low ticket offer. Instead of when they sign up saying, "Hey, thanks, check your inbox," y'all, it's the 2020s. People know to check their inbox. They know they just signed up, right? And so I send them to a short sales page. Hey, some kind of discounted offer for a limited time. For me, it's my membership. It's normally $9. You can get a trial for $1, right? For you, it might be, hey, here's a coupon. You got to use it in the next 24 hours or something like that if you're a local business, right?
Yeah.
So that just right off the bat. Now, I'm not making $1 million off of that, but I am telling people, hey, I'm a real business. I have real solutions to your real problems, right? So it sort of flips the switch from, hey, I just got something for free to, hey, Liz is a real business. Let me check this out, right? So then we have a welcome sequence. And we want to sell in that welcome sequence too. Number one, we want to tell them, hey, I'm going to offer you free and paid services, products, whatever. And then at the end of the sequence, usually it's around email 4, I just make a hard pitch. Hey, this is the thing I'm known for. This is how I can help you the best. Join my membership, right? If you have a service, hey, this is the thing I'm known for. This is how I can help you best. Book a call here. Check out the offer here, right? And then, of course, you want to sell throughout, getting to Jules' actual question, right? You want to you want to just sprinkle in your sales. It's your job to make sure nobody comes off the elevator saying, "How was I supposed to know?" Right? That's your job. So sprinkling in sales, always telling people what your offers are, how many available. P.S. Don't forget to come into the shop, blah, 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 blah. Don't forget I've got 2 spots available this month. Book a call here, right? For example, I have a welcome sequence workshop that usually comes out in January, but you can buy it anytime. And so maybe today I want to write an email and I want to give 3 tips for your welcome sequence, ABC. Oh, by the way, don't forget, I have this welcome sequence workshop. You can get it here for 49 bucks or whatever the price is, right? And so just, writing emails that have to do with that topic or that thing that you're selling, and then reminding people, hey, I actually go deeper over here. Would you like to take a look?
Yeah.
Click over to the sales page, the book a call button, whatever, right? And then the last thing I want to make sure you do is create launches. So I'm not at home. If you're watching, I've got this messy background, but normally I've got a giant calendar in my background. Get yourself a calendar. You don't have to map out the whole year, but take a look at the next 90 days. Where can you sell? What do you want to sell? How much money do you want to make? And put a launch, an email launch on your calendar. That means 2 to 5 days where I'm just selling, right? I mentioned that 100% conversion rate. Y'all, I had a pre-launch where I was saying, this is coming, this is coming, this is coming. I had a launch Monday through Friday. Buy it, buy it, buy it. Here are A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all the way to Z reasons to buy it. Be a little shameless in your launches. Do that pre-launch. Tell people, hey, this is coming. Change their mind from, they believe X. I need them to believe Y. I'm going to spend a month or two moving them into that new belief so that they know this offer is correct, right? It's not salesy. They asked you, hey, I need help with this. Hey, I want to know more about this. Hey, I love this. Tell me more, right? They said that. They can unsubscribe at any time, but again, it's your duty to find those customers.
Absolutely. And this is just all part of running a business, of having the strategy. I say this about websites as well, that if we have to be involved as the business owner, we've got to be the one. Even if we are outsourcing our marketing, we've still got to be involved in that strategy. And yeah, email is just part of that as well, isn't it?
Amen. Amen. I'm getting hyped up. Y'all, I love sales. Y'all, I have a stomach. My kid has a stomach. I just adopted a teenager. Oh my gosh, she has a stomach. Groceries are expensive. I don't know about where you live, but where I live, I bought a steak. It was $45 USD a pound. Okay. One steak, $45. So I've got to get out there and ask you, hey, do you want this? You said you were interested. Do you want this? That's all it has to be, sharing the benefits, sharing the features, sharing the why behind what you created. Hey, this is why I teach email. This is why I, created this specific membership. This is why I want you to join. These are the types of people I'm looking for. Are you that person? Those are the things that don't feel salesy.
Yeah. So if somebody wants help with this, how can you help? If somebody's sitting there thinking, well, I like the sound of all this, but I don't know what to put on these emails, can you help with that?
Yeah, wow, what a great setup. Thanks, Jules. Yeah, of course, I'm an email marketer, right? This is what I do. And I love helping people that still feel a little lost or maybe a lot lost
Mhm.
around emails and selling and building those relationships so that it doesn't feel salesy, right? So I actually have a $9 a month membership. It's kind of plug and play templates where you can take and make your own. We talked about getting replies. I didn't mention this, but for me, it's never about closing the sale, right? That feels salesy. It's always about opening up that relationship, right? We mentioned Jules got on my list. We started replying back and forth. She's in my membership. Now I'm here, right? That's a relationship. That's part of my network now, right? And that's what I want to help teach you. And so I've got my $9 a month membership. It's called email marketing membership. I figured I'd come up with a better name later. And then I thought, oh, that's actually a really good name for SEO purposes, right? And y'all, now with AI, I get so many referrals from AI. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that it's called email marketing membership. But anyway.
And also the fact that you have been on so many podcasts makes a massive difference as well, because everywhere out on the internet, people know Liz Wilcox is email marketing expert.
Right. That's just another plug for SEO and making sure your website and other people's websites are set up for your success. But if you want to go deeper and, after they visit your website, they join your list, what then? That's what I do. And I would love to help people. And I try to make it as accessible as possible so you can just try it out, spend some time because it is a long-term, like website and SEO traffic. That's a long-term strategy. Email is too. So $9 a month. It's a really simple offer. And if you want to just try it out, you can also join my email list. You can go to lizwilcox.com. You can't miss that hot pink button. It's in the top right-hand corner. You're going to get an entire welcome sequence. We talked about how important that is, already written for you. You're going to get 3 newsletter samples from the membership and 52 subject lines. That's all for free. LizWilcox.com, hot pink button.
Fantastic. And I can highly recommend being part of Liz's membership. One thing I would say, actually, this is a real testimonial as well, is I try not to work in the evenings now. My background is salons, so I've done with working in the evenings. And Liz's monthly Q&A call is actually in the UK evening times, and it's the only call that I do. It's the only time I work in the evenings is to go to Liz's Q&A call, and I make sure I'm there every month because I came off it, I think it was last time, and I said to my husband, that is one of the most inspiring calls I go on every month, because you're just there and you're just all our cheerleader, and it's fun as well. So I'm very grateful to be part of your membership. So thank you, Liz.
Yes, thank you. And I really do try to be a cheerleader. I really believe in people and I believe in the power of taking action. And so within my membership and even on my email list, if I can inspire you to action, that I know you're going to see some result. And so that's my entire mission, is just to get you to hit send. Do it messy. Again, like if you're not watching the video, I've got water bottles in the background. There's a microwave. I forgot to close the door. We do it messy, so that we can see what works and we can refine from there. So if that sounds good to you, I'd love for you to join.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the messy stuff as well, now with AI, I think it's even better. People like that. I've had a fly buzzing around in here the whole time we've been recording. It's been really annoying.
That's so funny. Right. AI
and the
couldn't
dog's just come
replicate
back
that.
from the dog walker. She's just walked in and laid down. So
Yes, I love that. Yeah, it's real. People want real. If you want real, check me out because that's all I can be, baby.
fantastic. Oh, well, thank you so much, Liz. It's been amazing talking to you. I'm so glad to have had you here. And I know it will be really helpful for everyone listening as well. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Can't wait to see what everybody does with email.
Yeah. So thanks a lot for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye. If you'd like to attract more local clients, grab my free local visibility checklist. It'll show you the simple steps you can take to show up in your area for what you do. You can download it at thewebsitesuccesshub.com/local. And thanks for tuning in to the Website Success Show.